Hey everyone, it's a rainy day here in Swarthmore, and we're going to start this class using a different piece of equipment that some of you may or may not have seen. This is called a Pilates ring. So it's a circle that is made out of a spring, and it's got a padded handle on each side of it that you can use between your arms, between your legs, under your feet to give you some strengthening, and that's an important part of it. But even more important with the magic circle is how we use it to find the coordination and connection between our muscles and our nervous system. And what it does is when you use it, it amplifies the signals that your nervous system is sending throughout the body. So you end up feeling more connected, and that helps you engage the correct muscles when you're working through your Pilates exercises or really anything else. So we're going to play with it for a little bit here during this first 15 minutes of class. If you don't have one, don't worry. If you are on the Swarthmore campus, you can come upstairs to the supply closet on the 3rd floor of the Matchbox. Or if you want to invest in one yourself, they typically are about $15 to $25 or $30 on Amazon, and I'm sure other places as well. So it's called either a magic circle or a Pilates ring. And we're going to start by using it, I think, under our feet to help use balance, to help do some balance exercises. And it'll be a challenge. If you don't have a circle with you right now, and there's really no reason that you would, you can use a ball under your foot, or you can even just stand on one leg and do the movements without anything under you at all. The magic circle or under the ball would give you less stability and a bigger challenge. So we're going to play with this today. So we come up to standing. And then here, I'm taking the circle vertically here. So it's resting on one of the handles. And then this is the tricky bit. So if you're not sure of your balance, like hold on to a wall or something else. And then you'll pick up one foot to place it lightly, and that's the key, lightly on the magic circle. The issue is that if you push down too hard on it, it's going to skid out from underneath you. So we want a very light connection, but a firm one, so you can find your balance in your core and through your standing leg while you do this. So again, we're going to take this up, and again, you can try it with a small ball. Even a larger one would be a useful thing to do. Just when you come up, try to have your hands on your hips and be sure that you keep your hips level. This is a challenge in itself, right? Because you need to have stability through your standing foot. And then I would suggest having a focal point with your eyes. So we're lightly going to press the circle down, squishing it just a little bit. And then as you exhale, keep your connection down through your foot as you lift the legs. You feel that connection into your oblique abdominals here. So you press down. And again, you can do this with the ball under your foot or just stand upright on one foot and move the leg up and down into the air. Arms out to the side might help you balance. Just like a tightrope walker has that one pull, you can just kind of do that for yourself here. And then inhale, push down. Only enough that you feel a deeper work into the muscles in your leg and into your low abdominals, and then you bring it on up. Just going to do that one more time. So light press down. And then exhale to lift it. Excellent job. Good work. This is tricky, right? And then lift and lower the circle down. And over to the other side. Again, you want to be sure that your feet are grounded. Spread your foot into the floor, your standing foot. And then we'll pick up the leg. Use your other hand to help you. And then come up. This is one of the tricky bits, going from leaning forward on one leg. The magic circle should be under the ball of the foot or maybe the arch, but you push down lightly and then exhale and lift. I like to imagine I'm getting taller up through my central axis as I press down. And I'm getting narrower as I exhale and lift the leg, but still maintain pressure into the circle. So you can push down, hands going on hips, or out to the side for a little easier balance by hooks. And then press down and exhale and lift here. And don't worry, like the instability that you feel, that's a part of improving your balance, right? So balance isn't perfection, like being locked into position, It's the ability to come out of balance and then come back into it. So we lightly press, exhale and lift. And we're going to do one last one here. Pushing down, exhale, lifting it, and then lower the circle. And everyone's really relieved when we lower the circle. That is so hard. And I will tell you that teaching like groups of Pilates teacher trainees, it's hard for them too. Everyone has difficulty with this. So next up we're taking the ball between the legs. So above the ankle and below sort of the swell of the muscle of the calf. And if you don't have a circle, you can use a ball here. And this again is going to be another balance challenge. So if you want to have a wall near you that you can hold on to at the back of a chair, that is sometimes very helpful. So we're going to just shift your weight to one side. I'm going to my right, and my left foot is off the ground. Again, the arms could be outstretched, or I can have my hands on my hips. And what we're doing first, you're just going to use your upper inner thigh to pull the leg in, closing the circle a bit, and then exhale, expanding it out. And I want to keep the connection from the spring to my leg to my core while I do this. So you squeeze in, exhale, open slowly. Very good. Just you never would press into like your ankle joint or your knee joint. So it's somewhere in, I have it sort of at the narrow part of the calf right above the ankle before it swells up into the bigger part of the muscle there. Just one more. And then we squeeze and we shift our weight to the other side. If you need a moment to adjust the circle, take it. And then we press and release. And you can't release too much because then the circle will, or the ball will fall out from between your legs. Push in, exhale, press out and away. Your standing foot spreads into the ground. Think about like when you put pancake batter on a griddle and it spreads wide here across the griddle itself. You want your foot to be spreading here where the puddle's outside today. Two more. I know you feel your inner thighs. Press again, and then we're coming back to center. All right, now we're going to rotate so that you have the legs sort of at 90 degrees. So I have my back leg pointing out on a 45-degree angle, and my front leg is really pointing straight ahead. And you squeeze it a little bit here. Then you lean back onto your back leg, lift the front foot off the ground, and you pull the circle in towards your standing leg and then release it a little out. So you pull in and then reach it away. Press and release. Press here. Release again. Just do one more. Press. Release. Now you squeeze and then shift your weight onto your front leg. Hold that circle. I'm hoping that mine holds. And then you pull the back leg towards you and away. Whoops. Just compress it a little bit and release it out. Two more. And one more time. All right, back where we started. Now the leg that was in back is now going to be in front. So we circle. So as you know, balance is a skill that you have to practice to improve. And it's best if you have like a playful attitude about it. So I've been doing this for quite some time. It didn't look like this when I started, just so you know. So standing at the back leg, the front leg is off of the ground, the front foot is off the floor at some point. And then you squeeze, you pull from the hamstring, the back of the thigh. Press, slowly release it out and away. Press in and release. If you need to, let your toes slide along the floor so you have a little bit of a connection. That could be helpful. We'll do one last one. But squeeze it, shift your weight forward onto your front foot, and then the back foot lifts. Legs are turn out, right? So we're going to pull the back leg in and then away. Squeeze it in, release it out. I promise you, you'll feel this leg work tomorrow. And that'll be true whether you use a ball or whether you use a magic circle. Just one last one here. And then you keep a little squeeze of the circle, come back where we started, and then you can release the circle to the floor. Everyone got a big smile on that release. Good job, guys. I know that's so hard. All right. So from here, there is a way to also use it on the roller. So again, if you don't have a magic circle, you can use a ball. If you have a roller, you can just lay it around and do this. But we're going to start sitting at the end of your roller. We'll be pretty close to the far edge, and then roll back. Oh, sorry, I want a ball too. So I'm going to use a ball between my thighs and the magic circle overhead. So we'll roll back down. Lay your head back on the roller. Find your spine along the length of it. Waist is lifted, shoulder blades drop. And first just start, take the roller up in the air. It's resting into the heel of the hand. So a lot of times when people first get the magic circle, they grab hold of it with their hands wrapped around it. They pull it into their chest with the elbows wide, and they just squish it as much as they can and release it. You're going to feel that, a lot into the upper arms. However, Pilates, we prefer to have it more subtle. So we're going to extend the fingers up to the ceiling, hold the magic circle between the heel of your hands, right at the base of the thumb, and across to the base of the pinky edge of the hand. And then you press from the armpits and then release. And you'll see that if you do this with the arms vertical, you're going to really feel that knitting together in the lower abdominals, kind of like the middle, right? So I feel it here. It's right like above the navel. I feel that knitting together and then slowly open. So the thing is that as you push in, you keep reaching up through the index finger, right, and the thumb to keep the elbows straight. And you press the upper arms around the chest wall to squeeze and then release. And the release is reluctant. This is how we work all the Pilates equipment with the springs. This is a spring also. So you push in until you feel maximally engaged. And then you slowly open as if you're trying to push in and the circle itself is expanding out into your hand. So it's kind of a fight here. It's kind of a resistance exercise. So we push in. See if you can feel that connection all the way down your arm to your armpit and then around under the chest wall through the oblique abdominals, and then open it slowly, and you want to feel that sensation gradually diminish. Then you press in and you feel that sensation increase in intensity, and then diminish it a little bit at a time. Good, and you can do this exercise with the magic circle at different heights. You can bend your elbows a little bit, bring the circle down so it's just over the crease sort of, and by the thighs. The circle is always 90 degrees from the angle of your arms. And then we're going to press here. Again, don't let the elbows bend. They're going to want to bend so you can really see a lot of movement in the circle. Don't expect a lot of movement. Push in to feel that connection to your core, and then open it, relinquishing that connection to your core as slowly as possible. You feel that? Yeah, that's great. And then we'll do that just a couple more times. Inhale to reach out and press. Exhale, still reaching out and resist the opening. One more. Pushing in. Exhale and opening slowly. Now we'll take this overhead. It's going to be balanced on the floor vertically. So it's on one of the handles, and both of your hands are coming up edge to edge on the top handle. It's actually placed like it's your own personal halo above your head. So the elbows are bent and lift up to the ceiling. Now we're actually going to use the ball here. So just holding the circle in position, just squeeze the ball with your inner thighs and release and squeeze again. So notice you're engaging the inner thigh muscles, but you're also engaging the transverse abdominal muscle here, the deepest abdominal muscle that runs across the body horizontally. And it connects the front of the body to the fascial diamond that's by your sacrum behind you. So as you squeeze the ball, you're going to feel that wrap around the low pelvis and hip, and then release it, and that gradually diminishes. So now we're going to push down with the hands into the circle and feel that work into your arms, but also into the chest wall, and then exhale and slowly bring it up. So press down. Again, you could be doing this with 2 different balls. Release it. Press here. Slowly up and away. And now we combine the leg press with the arm press. As you press the ball, you push the circle. See if you feel the whole abdominal wall, the whole core engagement, and then gradually open the knees and lift the circle. So we push down and squeeze, and then pay it out and open the legs. Couple more. Inhale as we press, legs and arms. Exhale, gradually releasing. And one more time. So one of the things I really love and appreciate about the Pilates practice is that we're not just working, the arms, like when we do weights, we're not just pushing with the legs and just focusing on that. We're always trying to relate what's happening from the extremities of the body back into the center and out again. So that connection is super important if you learn to actually use your core instead of just talking about using the core. So we'll take the ball out from between the legs down and then start off with the roller with the set side. Of course, just staying on the roller even for a little bit like that, will give you a chance to open up the chest, which of course we all need. All right, so toys aside for the moment. And we're rolling back into hundreds. So begin here with the feet grounded, knees bent. You can start your hands to the back of your legs. Lift your chest, sit upright. Look down, curl the tail up, and roll the low back down into the mat. Come all the way down to your upright curl. So the blades touch the ground. You can pull the legs into your chest. Legs sit together and pull yourself up a little deeper to the curve. Extend the legs up to the ceiling, reach the arms forward, start pumping the arms. Welcome to class. Use the orange mats because they're really softer for your back. And you'll want a ball, a TheraBand, a magic circle, which is the ring right there, and a roller. Then you'll be great. Well, you're great already, but you'll have all the toys you want. So we're inhaling here and letting the whole body expand as you exhale, pull the belly deep. The arms reach forward as if you're trying to slide the fingers up and down the wall in front of you. And that wall is way in front of me here in the matchbox. So squeeze the inner side edges of the legs together. Reach them long and out. You can change the angle of your leg as you warm up. Just be careful that you're imprinting the waistline into the ground and not arching the spine. As you lower the legs, make sure you stay high and deep in your upper arm curl. Look down your nose towards your belly. Let's fold the knees in and lay your feet down. And then you can lower the feet, open the arms out to the side, and rock your knees from one side to the other. Turn your head away from the movement of your knees. So you get a rotation here in your neck, your cervical spine, and also into the lower back. Let's just go one more time to the left, finishing up the sequence. Come back to center, and then be sure you have your head is on your mat. And you can extend the legs forward for roll up. So we lift the arms up to the ceiling, anchor the shoulder blades down, and then take the arms back behind you, holding the wrists grounded. Lift the arms, legs it together. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale to pick up your rib cage. Dive over your legs. Curve forward, stretching out, suck your belly back. Your waist pull to the wall behind you, and then bring it on back. If this is new to you and you want to use a TheraBand around your feet and your hands to the TheraBand, that's helpful. Or if it's new, you also could get an extra advantage by taking ankle weights to your feet. But the strap should work really well. Enjoy that stretch in your back and your hamstrings, and then come back. Press the legs away, keep them zippered together. Pull your body to the ground. Yawn your body open. And then we lift again. Obviously, if you're using the TheraBand, your hands will start like down by your side. Right, as you go over, you can pull the hands back, the elbows pull back. And then as you go out, you can keep the band taut, but then pay it out a little bit as you lower your spine to the floor. That's good. We'll just do this a couple more times. Use the breath to help you. The inhale gets the head and the neck and the shoulders up. The exhale picks up the weight of your rib cage. Dive over. If hamstrings are tight, you can bend the knees here, but be sure you're still feeling a stretch in the back of your legs. Lengthen out through your heels on the way back. Do you want the band to stay taut using fair band? So you choke up on it by pulling the elbows wide as you move forward. And then let's lift again, coming up. Exhale, breathe through it. Dive over yourself, stretch out the spine. That's it. So don't lift the band because then you're going to fall backwards, but pull it down low, and that should bring you up. There it is. Good. Exhale through it, and then keep pulling it back as you go over. Don't let the band slacken. Right? And then you're going to come up and then roll all the way down. The tail lifts first, and you place each of the vertebrae one by one onto the ground. Good. Then we're all going to use a band on the right leg for the single leg circles. So you take that band around all the foot and the arch. The center of the band is there. And then you can lift the leg up to the ceiling as you lay down. All right, the legs reach as high here. And just point and flex the feet a couple of times. I'm going to move on that back. I think I'm disappearing from the screen a little bit. See if that helps. Okay. And then once I get down, we can continue with the exercise. I'm not sure that's any better, but we gave it a shot. So point the foot, you lift it up high enough to feel a good stretch at the back of the leg. And now you internally rotate the leg to take it across the body, the right hip is down. Circle the right leg low, externally rotate to bring it out to the side, hold the left side heavy on the floor, and then you reach the right leg over to the left, circle. Now we're using the weight of the leg to challenge our ability to stabilize the body here on the ground. That's what builds your core strength. And then at the same time, if you're anchored here, you're going to increase the flexibility that you're gaining through the inside and outside of the leg, and then also the hamstrings when the leg comes to the ceiling. So we use a short, deep inhale to start the circle, and then it's a long exhale all the way around and up to the top. Let's go for one more here. Inhale to reach, and then exhale to circle and push through. Bring it around to the side and lift it up. Let's pause here and reverse. Externally rotate. The right leg goes to the right. The left side is heavy, like it's bolted to the floor. Circle around, drag it over, lift it up. And just enjoy stretching the foot out and away into the length of the band. And keep those arms working, pressing the elbows and the upper arm or triceps into the floor. The leg rotates around here. Right at the top, it's neutral. It's externally rotated as it goes out to the right. It's neutral at the bottom of the movement. It's internally rotated as it crosses, and it's neutral at the top. One more short, deep inhale. Long, so exhale. You want to feel the abdominal wall contract as you come up to the ceiling. Now here, let's take both ends of the band in the right hand. The left hand can assist if you need to. Elbow anchored, and you open the leg out to the right while holding the left hip down, rib cheek. Keep it heavy. And then you rock the leg a little bit towards your shoulder and away. So you feel that nice stretch of the upper inner thighs. And then we lift the leg up, exhale to pull it to the ceiling. Switch hands. And then extend the right arm. You cross the leg over, lifting the hip, the waist, the ribs, but not the shoulder blade. And as you stretch the foot to the wall to your left, you're now going to rotate the leg internally so that the knee and the toes point down. And that happens from the thigh, femur here, right? And not just from the foot. Exhale and pull the hip down to lift the leg up to the ceiling. And here, pull it back, give it an extra little stretch. If you're tight in the hamstrings, bend the knee and feel the stretch in the middle of the thigh, right? You want it in the belly of the muscle, not at the knee, not at the sits bone attachment. And then you can pull that leg in, then it comes off. Embrace the leg in with both arms, pull it tight. And then you can stretch that leg forward into the other one. Check out your legs and feel the huge difference between the two legs, right? Length, where it connects to the floor, where it floats off of it, even the low back. Did you feel like it kind of rotated a little to the right and you're falling to your right now? Me too. So here we go, to the left. There's there. And if you tend to be someone who's tighter on one side than the other, like when you practice this at home, you might do left, right, left. That would be my personal pattern. Or, right, left, right, if that's what you need. So first, let's lift the leg up. You want to pull the leg here, give it a gentle stretch to the back line of the leg. The elbows are grounded, you slide them forward so the shoulders ease away from your ears. Then we did some point and flex. So really try to articulate through the foot. So you reach up to the ball of the foot, then you curl the toes up and over, then you pull the toes back, then you reach the ball of the foot as you lift the heel. So you feel that work sequentially through the foot, go from the toes to the heel and back again. Then we end up in a soft point, and then we circle. So we bring the left leg across the body, keep the left hip down, the leg circles forward and around, out to the side, and slowly rotate up to the side. And before you take the leg to the right, press the left side of the body into the ground. Before you take the leg out to the left, press the right side of the body into the floor. That's everything that touches, everything that's connected to the ground gets heavier. So that you can stabilize your torso here while you work the leg further and further away from your center. As the muscles will stretch, we want to create also some space in the joints, some ease in the movement while we work here. And that rotation of the leg on the socket is also important. That really gives you a better fit of the thigh bone, the femur into the socket joint. Find the breath again. Short deep inhale, long slow exhale, all the way exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. Exhale to the top, and let's reverse. Out to the side, the right side is rounded. Reach forward, drag it over, lift it up high, and reach again. Stretch it away, exhale, take it across, over the ceiling, lift it. Move through it, stretch through it. And again, hold the body stable to get the maximum stretch and the maximum work in your core. We do just one last one. The leg moves freely here at whatever range of motion is appropriate for you. We come to the top, and now the left hand pushes into the bend. Open the left leg to the left, the right side is heavy. Sometimes you can take your right hand to your hip press, kind of push that down. Another option as you advance would be to take the arm out to the side and look at it. And that gives you a little bit more weight to help hold the right side heavy. Rock the leg a little bit towards your shoulder and away. And then we'll lift the leg up to the ceiling, exhale to bring it up, switch hands. And then cross it over, extend your left arm, look at that hand. And you let the left hip spiral off, following the foot. Keep the shoulder blades down, right? The shoulder girdle is grounded. And then you'll rotate the left leg internally to get a deeper stretch and push your glute into the lower back. This helps open up that single area where we tend to hold a lot of tension. Pull the hip down to lift the foot up to the ceiling. Give it a little tug, stretch it out. Bend the knee if necessary. And then we fold the knee in, bend to the side. Hug it in deep. And then we do want to stretch it forward next to the other one. You may need to sort of like wiggle your hips a little bit to get both hips back in the same level position. And just see how much more relaxed you feel. The legs are rotated a little externally, showing that you release some tension there. So next, let's pull the right knee in, hold onto the back of the thigh, lift the left leg up, and we go forward and up for rolling the ball. Lift your head, go forward to sitting. You can grab the ball to go between the thighs. Okay, so edges of the feet together. Easiest, hands behind the thighs. Hands could be to your shins. And also, if you want to look at me, you can turn around. You know, you don't have to face the way that everyone is in the class. Or you can even be like head on, you know. And also, these two ladies in the front row have been doing Pilates for a really long time. So they're good to watch if you want a closer glimpse, because I'm kind of far away from you. All right, so edges of the feet together, no pressure. So, hands to the shins, pull the tail up, do an upright roll around the back. You lift your tail roll only to the shoulder blade, up in the air, exhale, come back up to your balance point. You're looking down in your belly the whole time. So you want to be sure that your back is comfortable with this. The rounder your spine is, the easier it is to roll. That makes sense. You want to be more like a ball and less like a yoga block, right? So you lift the tail, curve your spine. You breathe into it, inhale on the way back, exhale on the way forward. And then ideally, you're rolling equally on the right and left side. It's the same amount of work. So you go in a straight line back and then a straight line forward. And you try to stop before your feet touch the ground eventually, right? Just It takes a while to figure out how much effort is needed to do this, but once you kind of modulate that and understand what's necessary, then your feet will touch the ground, just like your head doesn't get slammed into the floor. Yeah, that's good. So let's do a couple more. Inhale, breathe, you go back. Exhale, breathe out to come up, and one more time. Going back here, and exhale, pulling up and forward. And then we can take the ball to the side for the ab series. So now, right hand goes to the right ankle, left hand goes below the right knee on the shin. Pull that leg in, elbows up and wide, and then you go back, extend the left leg out with a ton of balance to go back to your upward curl. You're right on the brow line or the tip of the shoulder blade. Inhale, switch the leg. Outside head to the ankle, exhale, switch again. Right hand, right ankle, left hand, left ankle. You stay up in the curve, like pulling yourself up with your arms, and then also doing the engagement in your upper abdominals. You have to always look down your nose at your belly so that your head doesn't throw your back, which will put more strain in the neck and take the work out of the abs. Like shoot forward and back with the distance going in and out in a straight line from your hips. We're going to end with the left leg in, pull the right leg in to meet it, and then lay your head down. Just turn your head side to side, giving your neck a little release. By the way, you can always rest at any point if this is new to you. And even if it isn't, if you need a break, take one. So we're coming to your upper curl, one hand to the shin. Push the hands down into the shins and lift the shins up into your hands. As you inhale, the arms are to reach for the ceiling. You circle the arms wide as you embrace the legs in, elbows wide, and pull your chest to your thighs. So you stretch out and away and hug everything in. Now just watch. If the arms go back, you don't want to fall flat. Get straight good. And stretch, lengthen, pull everything in, embrace. It's like your body is a hammock, and then you pull it into a ball. Reach one more time, stretch away from center, bring everything back, and then lay your head down. Next, we do scissors. So the right leg goes up in the air, your hand goes high on the calf towards the ankle. The left leg goes up and then lower. You come into your upright curl into your abs. Now inhale, we switch the legs. And exhale, switch again. Legs draw a straight line and arms to the air. But you cannot look up at your feet, don't even look up at the knees, look down at your navel. They'll help keep you in the upper arm position and keep the work in your core. And with the left leg up, both legs lift, hands behind the base of the skull, and pull your head up, stretch your neck. Elbows in and slightly down. You reach the legs out and away. Not very far, right? You want to feel this in your abs. You don't want to feel your back arch. And then exhale, sweep the belly in and lift your feet up. And you press the legs away here. Try to balance the tip of your shoulder blades and exhale to lift the legs. Now, it could be a lot of work for you to even move like 1 inch. Gradually, you will go lower and lower and lower, but only when it's safe for your back to do so. Right? The danger here is that your knee flexor connects directly to your spine, to your vertebra and your disc. So you want to treat this exercise with the respect it deserves and treat your body with the consideration it deserves. So you reach away. You suck the belly down, you pull the legs up. We'll do one more. Reach, keep reaching the head up to the ceiling. Use the pull of your hands to your skeletal lengthen your neck. Now we twist to the right, and then we twist to the left. So as you come to the right leg is in, the left leg is out. Come up and around. Try not to make it a side bend, but make it a rotation plus an upper up curl. So think about your shoulders staying in line with your hips. And try to come up high and deep to really feel that you're bringing out these oblique abdominals. I know, this is great. It is a lot. Do one more. And to the left. Everything in. Lay it down. Oh, we're glad that is done. And then stretch the legs forward and the arms back. Just open up your body into the stretch. You've worked that front line and you want to stretch it and let it release. Next, we come up for spine stretch. So lift the arms, lift the head, neck, and chest. Exhale, pull yourself up, and you can open the legs a little wider than your hips. Now, if your hamstrings are tight, you may want to grab a yoga block to sit on, or you can bend the knees. The goal is you want to be up here so that your waistline is soft and a little indented. And then we'll stretch the arms forward. Press the arms lightly down and lift your chest. Try to lift your head up into the sky. Look down And then the head pulls the neck forward. The upper back, the mid back, the low back. It's like you're peeling your back off the wall and you're diving forward like so. Come all the way down as far as you can, bend the knees if you need to. And then you press your heels and your sit bones and you stack to lift up. So there is a nice option here where you can take the ball in front of you, and it's not like it's not touching your legs. You would just overlap your hands on the ball, lightly press down to lift your head and your chest. Look down, and then as the spine moves forward, the ball is going to roll up under your wrists, under your forearms, towards your elbows, and curve over. What I love about this is the ball teaches your spine how to roll and articulate 1 inch at a time, and then you press into the ball, and you stack your spine. You roll yourself back up as the ball rolls towards you. Try it again with the ball. So overlap the hands on the ball, and then your jaw to begin, look down, then forward. Head, neck, shoulders, ribs, waist. Ball rolls up. Your elbows have to be a little narrow for this to work because these are pretty small. And then press into your arms as you stack your spine. And you feel you sort of have to work from the bottom to the top of the spine if you use the ball. So, great. All right, so next from here, we fold the legs in for open leg balance and rocker. You can move a little forward on your mat. Easiest to hold on to the back of your thighs. Or advanced, hands get between the legs and hold on to the top of the ankles. Lift your tail, walk back on your sacrum and hold your feet in the air. Now the right leg goes up. Extend the leg, the shoulders are easy, and exhale, pull the heels together, down in by your tail. Now the left leg extends. It rotates a little bit towards the outside of the leg, and it rotates on the inside of the knee as the arms come in. So hands to the inside of your legs, and then hold at the ankle, right? Then the right leg lifts, and the hand kind of rolls up to the top sort of the shin, and then it rolls around so that your arm comes inside the knee. Perfect. And now the left, reach it up. And then hold it on back. Now let's do both. They both go up. And then you come back in. Good, nice work. And lift again here. Exhale to fold. Now we're going to lift the legs up, hold them up, and then roll. This is going to be a little different from the last rolling like ball. Bring your hands a little to the outside. You can slide your hips closer to the calf, right? Look down, lift your tail roll back to your shoulder blades. Exhale, come up, and find your balance point eventually. Usually the first one is not the one. So when you look down, you roll. It's going to take like 5 years to get your exhale up. Woo, so much you do extra, right? This is a challenge, right? So it's really backward. Exhale forward. Just play with it. Pulling back. Exhale, coming forward up. Close the legs, bend your knees, and we'll roll on down onto your back. Have the fair bend here, so we've used it before. So go all the way down, and then we'll stretch out the bend. Take both feet into the center of the bend. Get it on the ball, foot in the arches. Lift the legs up. Anchor your elbows down at your side, and then soft point through your feet. So here we're trying to keep the tailbone grounded, the pelvis level, as we do a small circle the size of a volleyball to the right. Forward and around to the left, back up to the ceiling. Complete at the top, feel the stretch in the hamstring, and then go to the left. Inhale to start to the left, exhale around and down. If your legs are just a little bit longer, you'll be drawing a circle on the ceiling above you. And you will feel a shift in weight through the back of the pelvic girdle. It's like you're massaging out the edges of your SI joints as you get that little shift here. But you're trying basically to keep the pelvis grounded here on the mat when you do this. And again, if hamstrings are tight, bend the knees a little so that you can keep your feet right over the pelvic floor here. That'll protect your back from the weight of your legs as you work. And each direction, it's a short inhale and a longer exhale. We'll just do one more going from left to right. Hopefully enjoying the stretch in the back of the legs here, and massaging the low back. So fold the knees in, the band is off to the side, and we're going to roll forward and up for slow. Another seated exercise, and open the legs a little wider than your mat. So we sit upright, extend the arms out to the side, rotate to the right, and then the back of the left hand goes on the outside of the right leg. Dive it over, stretch over, reach. Pull yourself up here, center, unwind, and then spin to the left. Dive over, now the opposite hip pushes into the ground, so you're bolted into the floor. Lift to come up, unwind at the top of the movement, and circle, rotate, and dive again. Stretch out long. Now pull that back arm long behind you, try to keep a straight wrist. And we lift, center to the other side. And you use the back of your hand to the outside of the leg of the foot to give you a little bit more rotation to the upper body. Go up, vertical, center, and let's do one more time. Over here to the right. The back arm crosses behind you. You stretch the arms long, pull it up, twist, and then as you go over, keep the twist forward. You're trying to get your ear towards the knee and the back shoulder to the opposite side of the back. Lift it below. Center, lower the arms down. Okay, so here, let's come up to standing to do a standing swan. Watch out for all the toys in the corners here. And you'll start with your hands to your low belly, so your hands are overlapped between the navel and the pubic bone. Push the flesh in, and then we're lifting the flesh up. So imagine you can pull the navel up about an inch. Bring it up higher as you come up to the base of the ribs. Turn the palms up, get the edges of your hand into the rib cage. And then we're lifting the ribs one by one. You come to the chest wall, and then you slide your fingers to the sternum. Slide your hands up the breastbone, the sternum here to the base of the collarbones. Then you slide your fingers out along the collarbones to your shoulders, pull the elbows back down. You lift the chest, you lift the chin, and you're looking up at the ceiling, maybe even slightly behind you. Exhale to come out of it. Sip your belly back to a vertical. So the idea of this one is that you're not pushing your hips forward and throwing your head back to get an increase in the natural curves of your back here and the back of your neck there. But instead, you're trying to get longer for the abdominal wall as you go up. And if you pick up the chest, you pick up the heart, you pick up your eyes. And then as you bring your hands back, moving up and back down in. So this leg pulled together that lifts the rib cage up higher. And so you feel this like long line and you want to go backwards from the top of your body. And then exhale, come on out of it. Did you feel that? Did that make sense? And does you feel like nice and lifted now? You totally don't want to slump or collapse when we're like this. So hands to the abs. My favorite image, toothpaste, where you're squeezing the bottom of the tube and the toothpaste rises to the tube. At the very top, the toothpaste goes back in a curve, like a wave coming up out of the top of the tube and then falling backwards towards your face. And then you can release one out. Now, let's actually do that laying down using the magic circle. If at home or wherever you are, if you don't have a magic circle, you can definitely use the roller. We often do that. Or you can always just use your hands at the side like we do for coping. So what we'll do is you're going to lay on your belly and take this magic circle, have it stand vertically in front of you. So then you're going to take the heel of your hand, both hands on the top edge, side by side. You're looking down with your ears are between your arms. So you're going to pull down with the arms to lift your chest, pull the belly into a stretch. And the hardest lag, you're going to pull your shoulders down your back into lift. Excellent. Feel the stretch in your abs and the lift of your torso up in an arc and then release it down. And we do that again. So you pull back and down, tricep to lat, to obliques. Try to widen the collarbones, lift your gaze, push down here, and then release it down. I'm getting a huge stretch in my abs. I don't know about you. And then pull down. Heart rises. Just saying, in case you're feeling that and wondering if that okay is. And then release on down. Can you see how that was similar to what we just did? Yeah. But it is a different feeling than just pushing the arms down into the mat and then pushing your body up. It gives you a little bit more connection into the upper abdominals. All right, wonderful. So from here, prop yourself up on your elbows. Pull the chest forward, lift up. You should feel that same stretch in the abs you just acquired. And we kick the right foot in. Just 1, 2, and down, and the left 1, 2, and down in the right. Double beat each time. And don't collapse your upper body, right? Your chest is wide, the collarbone's broad, the heart is high, you're looking up with your eyes. And you're keeping the front of the pelvic girdle pressed into the mat. That way there's not a lot of rocking going on here with your butt. You're just getting a stretch in the quad as you pull the leg in, try to pull it in as close as you can to you and feel that stretch in the front of your leg. One more set, double beat. One more, double pulse, and then down. From here, let's sit back in a child's pose. Only if that's good for your knees, if not, laying your back, pull your knees into your chest. All right, and then stack the spine coming up. We're going to move, we're skipping a couple of exercises from the traditional intermediate work and laying onto your back for shoulder bridge. So knees are bent, feet are in line with your sits bones, and then you roll yourself down. Now here, the arms lengthen at your side, right? And you begin, you press down with your feet and try to pull your mat towards your tail, towards your sits bones, as you tuck your tail up and move your hips and your knees forward, as your knees reaching out over your toes. You lift the spine from the bottom to your shoulder blades. You're going to rest on your blades. And now here, let's push the top of the shoulders down and roll slightly to the outer edges of the arm in order to lift your sternum up. Then push down into your feet and lift your butt up higher, use your glutes and open your hips. Always look up, don't turn your hips to the side. And then we're going to roll to the inner arm, feel the blades widen and curve your rib cage down. You roll from your upper back down to the waist, down to your hips, over your sacrum, and finally down to the tail. You get that rocking of the pelvis as you feel the waistline lift. And we'll do it again. So push into the ground with your arms and your feet. Rock the tail forward and up. You can feel pelvic tuck. You move the knees forward. As you lift your hips, you start pushing down into the shoulders, into the top of the shoulders, the outer arm. Lift the chest because the blades pull together and boost the heart up to the ceiling. Don't let the knees splay open. You're still keeping your legs, parallel to each other, but push down with your feet to bring those hips higher, engaging your glutes. And then we'll roll to the inner arm. The blades move apart, and then you get the upper back to roll down. Every vertebra goes down and turn. Try not to go down in big chunks. Try to articulate down smoothly, 1 inch of your back at a time, sequencing your spine to the floor. And we'll go for one last one, coming up, and add a couple of marching steps to challenge your ability to keep the pelvis level as it's elevated. So come all the way up, give yourself the support from the back line of your body, push the arms and the feet into the ground. Now we're going to pull the right knee into your chest and then lower the foot down. As you lift the knee, try to lift that pelvic half with it. And as you lower it, keep the pelvic half in the air. I think about the side of my body cantilevered off the supported side. Because like a lot of muscles in my body, in your body too, everyone's body, work diagonally across the body. So they're holding you up, even when you lose the support of your leg. Ideally, the pelvis stays steady here while you do this, and that isn't necessarily true when you first try it. Okay, and then when you're even, lift your hips, roll to the inner arm, and work your spine all the way down. Okay, from here, let's come up for spine twists. So roll forward and up. Extend the legs forward. This is a good place to elevate your hips up if your hamstrings are tight and your lower back is tight. If so, then you can just bend the knees if you don't have anything to sit higher up on. So extend the arms out, hands a little in front of your collarbones. Push the arms down so lift the chest up, and we rotate to the right and pulse 1, 2, 3. Lift to center and to the left. Twist and pulse 2, 3. Now feet should be flexed ideally and stay in alignment with each other. They're separate together. Rotate here around your own axis. Bring out your breath. Watch that the arm coming forward doesn't go into 90 degrees. Keep the arms like 170 degrees away from each other. And just let them travel and flip on the movement of your spine. That's so much better. Good job. And we're edging to the left. Come back to center. Release. And now for jackknife. So this is an inversion, like doing the shoulder stand in yoga, right? So if you want to assist with this, you can take the roller across under your hips. Otherwise, you lay down on your back. All right. I'm going to demo one. You can watch Harley's using the roller. You can watch her do the first one if you want to get a good idea of it. But I don't want you turning your head while you elevate the hips up. So in either case, you pull the knees into your chest. You extend the legs up to the ceiling. You bring the legs a little away from your chest to give you a slight running start. You're going to press with the arms. Inhale to bring the legs up. Exhale, push the ground away. Lift the hips in the air. The legs start low, then you can lift up. Then you lower the legs if you need to and roll your spine down. Putting some pressure through the arms, engaging your lats. And then, let me see, do that again. So push down to come up. You can press through your arms, lift your hips there. That's good. And then keep looking up. As you press through your arms into the roller or into the floor, you start to move your spine forward, reach out through your heel in the opposite direction and bring your hips back onto the roller. Control your descent down. Yes, very, very good. So you can feel how you're working the back of your body when you do this. Okay, I feel good about my newbies here today. That was a great job. So, questions? You guys okay? It's like a surprise for the nervous system sometimes the first time you do it. Right, and you can also do it without the roller if you feel like that was a little too easy for you. Yeah, excellent. It's a little tricky because particularly when you're up on your shoulders, you definitely do not want to be turning your head to look sideways. That's why, since I wasn't sure like what your practice was, I wanted you to watch first. Excellent. Okay, so let's do a little bit of the side series using the magic circle. And so for those of you who don't have one, you can use a loop between the legs when the circle's between the legs, or you could use a bare band loop, either tying a loop into yours or using one that's already comes in a loop. But we're going to start laying down, and the circle goes above the ankle, below the calf. And you stretch yourself out, prop yourself up on your elbow. And again, here, you would just use a ball if you don't have a circle. But really reach long, you press your top hand in front of your chest. Press the circle down, and then exhale, resist the spring as you come up. So you're going to push down here, and exhale, slowly lift. Reach out long with both legs, push. And exhale, and you can feel the instability that's making you work a little harder here. Press again. Exhale, lift. Now, you're really going to press your top hand into the mat and get ready because now you're going to lift both legs up and then exhale, bring them down. So you hold the circle, you squeeze it gently, lift here, and then bring it down. You're going to feel this in your obliques most likely. Yes, right? Reach up. Exhale, lower, and then one more like that. Okay, great. Now from here, we're going to take the circle on the outside of the legs. So here's where you would use that band. Eventually, of course, you'll probably want to get a magic circle just because it's more fun to have a lot of different props to play with. So, and it teaches something different to your body with every different toy that you have. So you're pressing the bottom leg down into this circle, and now the top leg is coming up. So you're going to pull from your upper outer thigh, that glute medius, and then release it down a little bit. So it's not going to look like much is happening, right? But you should feel it a lot, and then release. If you really want to feel it fire, take your hand on top of the thigh here on the outer edge, and release it. Do that again. And then pull it up. Now for the last one, you really do need a magic circle. So if you don't have it, just repeat one of the earlier ones, but now we take the top leg out, press it here on the magic circle, and now we pull the bottom leg up and then lower the bottom leg down. Bottom leg lifts and exhale to lower. Lift here and then bring it down. Lift again and exhale down. One more. Push through the arms to help you stabilize. Excellent. And then we're going to drop the circle and come up to do the other side. We start with the circle between the legs, right above the ankle, in that narrow part here below the sole of the calf. Make sure you're on your side seam. Pop your head up, extend the legs, and when we begin, we're going to press the top leg down and exhale, release it. Squeeze. This is your inner thigh working. I'm sure you noticed. And then press and release. Press here. Slowly out and up. Reach long with the legs, right? You want to find the length as well as the press and the push. Remember, find the resistance if the leg goes up. So you're still trying to work the circle even as it expands into your leg. Just go for one more. Okay. And now you really press your hand into the ground. We're lifting both legs up and exhale down. You lift the circle and bring it down. Now sometimes, like I'm feeling this at the top of my hip, right? So sometimes you need a little more padding from one side than the other. It may just be like the way your two pelvic halves are organized, or slightly disorganized in my case. So one more and down. Good. And then you can pull the legs in, grab the circle, and we're taking the legs to the inside of the circle. Above the ankles, then stretch the legs out long. The bottom leg presses down. The top leg pulls it up and releases. Pulls it up, and you're firing the glute medius here. Reach, pull the circle to an oval, and then release it. Put up here, release it down. Oh, you want straight knees. Yeah, right. That's it, good. One more. Release it now and hold the circle in place because the bottom leg is pushing into it. The top leg comes out and on top. It's a light press down with the top leg, and then you pull the bottom leg up and the bottom leg lowers. Bottom leg lifts and lowers down. Actually, you could just do this without a magic circle. This is an exercise we do in the advanced mat side kicks. Notice if you're feeling your obliques down low while you do it. And we'll do just one more here. Lower the leg, and then we can push the circle aside. Done with that for today. And come on up to sitting. How did that feel? Yes, noticed it? So the circle is really designed, so, and there's actually a funny story about this. So sort of the apocryphal story for the magic circle is that Joe Pilates, being German, always had a barrel of beer in his studio in New York City. And according to people who worked with him, right, that was the case. And at one point he was so frustrated with one of his clients who thought wasn't working hard enough and wasn't feeling the connection from his hands to his core, that he went in, he ripped the barrel apart and pulled the metal ring off of it and said, "Here, do it this way." You know, so that would have been much less comfortable than using this with the extra soft padding around the metal spring. Don't know if it's true enough, but I think it's an entertaining story and you should have heard it. So, all right. Thanks so much for doing class today with me. And if you're here, remember to just swipe your card at the entrance to the matchbox here. All right. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, let me know. Oh, and by the way, next week, no class, right? Because it's spring break.
Okay. Fall break.
Fall break. All right. God, bring on spring. Okay. So, but you can still watch the videos, right? You can watch the YouTube channel for, was it Wellness and Recreation?
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. So I'll see you all in 2 weeks, and hopefully you'll see me on screen